Intro take one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Screen Rhapsody. My name is Sino, and I hope you are all doing well. So, in today's video, as prefaced by the title down below, I will be reacting to Arcane Episode 5. I wonder what the residents of Piltover have for me today. I'm a little excited, a little nervous because the last episode we watched had me tense on 100. So with that being said, let us get straight into this reaction. Okay. Great shot. But who's this? Oh, it's Caitlin. Who's she? Okay. I'm assuming that was her mentor. Okay. More questions, no answers, as per norm. When I tell you stressed, I wasn't lying.
Did my parents pay you to let me win? You held your shot. I saw you.
Did she know?
You haven't answered my question.
No, you have not.
No, your parents didn't pay me.
Sure.
I just thought you deserved it.
So it was a pity win.
To be of service to the city. That's trophy enough.
Altruistic?
What are you shooting for?
Question mark. Does she even know? Oh wait, so this was like a... My bad. I mean, she looked like a kid. She did look like a child, so it would make sense as to this was prior to her being an actual cop. Hectic. Okay.
Funny personality.
Oh, this is why.
You attacked an inmate. Why? Why not?
Can you just send in whoever's gonna kick the shit out of me so I can get on with my night?
What does she mean by that?
Does this mean anything to you? In what mad world would I trust someone like you?
Question mark.
Someone
Undercity's gonna eat you alive.
You're not lying.
You want us to have a chat with her? Since when's he a counselor?
Since yesterday.
today. How many chats have you had with her?
Question mark. There's my answer.
Never even thought to count.
So that's the person that she meant about who's gonna beat her up tonight. Well, not tonight, but like she just knew a beating was coming. Crazy.
Daughters.
I get the sense that
Dwarf.
I don't know. This guy must be a crooked enforcer. I don't know. Something about him is mad, shifty, and shady. I don't think that he is a straight-laced enforcer. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
Who was this, Daddy?
Did he lose a sister? Oh, wife.
A good woman.
The council's up in arms. I can't make this go away for you unless you give me something to work with.
What did I say? What did I say?
What if I'm not interested in playing along?
Question mark. Time's up.
For their families. From an anonymous concerned citizen.
What about our pledge to improve lives? For those in need? For the Undercity?
One thing about this episode, questions are gonna get asked. By me and by the people in the show.
My speech. Soon we can do soon.
Now.
People who need our help now.
All due respect, Counselor. Today's your first day.
Second.
Corruption runs deep, Sheriff. I intend to root it out.
Homie's running out of time. What's happening? What's going on?
A headache. I need to get to the lab.
Homie is running out of time and you guys are still busy playing councilman.
No, it was a mistake.
Oh my word. It's so interesting to see how she's so prim and proper, but her job entails chasing around in real life. So interesting. What a juxtaposition. And even the way she's doing it by the book, with permits, following the law, following jurisdiction in her precinct, all of that by the book, but she's following and chasing outlaws. Crazy. And she's working with an outlaw. Even crazier. But I like it. She's not gonna keep up. Their paces aren't the same. Okay, so her method works as well. When last was she down there?
You had a vision?
One thing about these guys, they have the resources, because that's the main difference between them and Jinx. She doesn't have the resources, but she's able, I think, she matches them pound for pound, beat for beat, in terms of creativity, understanding and inventiveness, or understanding rather how things work together and putting puzzle pieces together. I think she matches them bar for bar, except she is doing it without the permits that they have, without the permission of the city that they do. But there must be the same, or maybe like she's a prodigy because she's much younger than they are. So yeah, wow.
You think Hextech can learn?
AI?
Are you sure this is safe? Of course not.
Question mark. Are those frogs? Well then,
I haven't been here in years.
interesting parallel or contrast. We just left a very murky underworld underbelly into a pristine, clean, serene palace, so to speak. Interesting.
Your house is in trouble. That would take any opportunity to seize it from you. You've just made yourself everyone's common enemy, Jace.
That's why I should have just stayed an inventor. He should not have gotten into politics and running off the place or involved. He should have just stayed in invention in his lab and just done great things and let the politicians be the politicians, because he's too green for this. Too green. She's gonna figure it out before they do.
The place does look like it has bodies buried in the basement.
You don't know anything.
These are simply favors amongst friends.
I never wanted anything to do with politics. You pushed
Yep.
this on me.
I mean, if he's so straight-laced in his own inventions and in his own lab, how do you expect him to all of a sudden be lax in something that's much greater than him, in a space that involves the safety and security of the people of the city or of the citizens? Like, he's not going to be lax. He's going to take it seriously. You should have left him again in the lab, as I've been saying.
The council assumes you'll fail. Time to prove them all wrong. Once again.
How? When he's already enemy number one.
Enforcers banging on my door. Jace had to make a show of safety. But he's here now to negotiate all his deals personally.
And as a supporter of House Talus, you'd be the first in line to any of our advancements.
Okay, maybe I judged you too soon. You do know how to play this game. He's a quick study.
The one place all the secrets are spilled.
Secrets and guts probably at this point.
Would you believe it?
I was not expecting that voice at all.
The Hextech Wonder Boy is on the council now. And he's asking questions.
Like me.
It's only a matter of time before he finds the truth.
truth.
To make you the martyr you've always seen yourself as.
Wait, did that just happen?
Then what are you waiting for?
Oh. For someone who is in the line of work that he's in, being a two-timing cop, he's too restrained by a good conscience. It's like it pops up when it's the least expected. Crazy.
He's faltering.
He is.
Have you heard anything about Powder? I think Silco has her.
She knows something.
I owe you.
Yeah, you do.
It's nothing. You did well today.
I had a good teacher.
And I was a quick learner.
We're not often in the position to give anything back.
Couldn't have done it without you.
Oh, he cracked the code. Or he's about to crack the code.
I thought we could walk together.
Two people can't get like in the same night. Oh my word. You do not have much time.
You need to let Powder die.
Is he about to waterboard her with the river that forged him?
James is perfect.
It's like a baptism of sorts. Is he from the underside by birth? Because what are his ties to the underside as an enforcer of topside? Well then, you have minutes left.
How much time do I have?
Days. Hours?
Vi?
Oh, then sweetheart, run. Oh my god. Ooh. Oh, she's getting her ass knocked. Hey, she's gonna. Okay, stop. It's enough now. Whoa, 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 whoa. Pause, pause, pause. Oh!
You mean Jinx? She works for him.
Woo! Okay, so that was Arcane episode 5. And boy, do I have thoughts and comments and opinions. And so I took a few notes. So they are on my screen. I'm going to be looking down. So don't mind me when I glance down. I'm just trying to keep track of everything and not repeat myself. Right? Okay, let's get into it. First point that I want to make is I'm finally starting to feel like I am on board with the story. Like I am on the same boat as the story. I know where we're going. And the momentum is picking up so nicely, fun-freakingly. It only took me 5 out of 9 episodes to get there. But hey, we're here now. Imagine if I'd gotten to 9 of 9 and I still didn't know. That would have sucked. So better late than never, right? So the second point is, this episode, just like the ones before it, asks a lot of questions, both of me and the characters. Both of the characters and the characters themselves asking questions. And what I liked particularly about this episode is that these questions were answered rather speedily. Well, at least some of them. The creators rather didn't waste a lot of time trying to milk all the suspense that they could out of the questions that were posed to the characters. Some were answered pretty quickly, and others are going to be answered as the story unfolds in the following episodes. And I'm okay with that. I love that some of them were not held off unnecessarily long. You know what I mean? So kudos to the creators for that. The third point I want to make is that some pretty interesting alliances and relationships were made in this here episode. Let's get into it. Number 1, that was surprising, was the relationship between Caitlin and Vi. Interesting in that they come from 2 different worlds. What makes it even more cool is that despite their different upbringings and circumstances, they both are very tenacious people. They have the same trait of tenacity, and I love that. I love that for them. And also, I think because they both are tenacious, they can work really well together. Like, both of them can equally pull their weight in the partnership, and I'm excited to see more of this partnership. The second relationship was one that I think was inevitable between Jace Tallis and Madada. Because if you think back to her introduction to Jace, it always felt, at least to me, a little bit greasy, a little oily for some reason, and now we know why. Now we know why there was oil and grease. Oh my goodness. I guess that's why I placed it on inevitable. It was bound to happen, and happen it has. The next relationship that was expected, because I had my suspicions and they were confirmed, Silco and Marcus. I knew it. I knew it. I had an inkling. I was like, Marcus, I feel like my dude, you're protesting way too much. You're protesting a little too much. And here we are. Why? Because he is a two-faced cop. He's a two-timing cop. And the way he came down on Caitlyn in the previous episode with her line of questioning and how she wanted to investigate this case was a bit too strict for me. Was a bit too protesty for me. As if he's trying to shut her up and silence her. So the relationships and alliances in this here episode, 10 out of 10. I enjoyed that. The next point that I want to make is on Tallis. This is specifically based on Tallis. Jace Tallis is a man pulled in many different directions. And the way I see it, those directions are as follows. The first one is he's a man who's deeply passionate about his work in the lab and the impact that he believes that work will have on humanity and the city of Piltover. And he is deeply passionate about expanding it, making it better, making it reach its potential to advance humanity and technology and all of these really great endeavors and scientific ambitions that he wants to push forward. That is great. And it's a pretty consuming passion, right? Like, it can take up your entire life and you're fine just doing just that. Nah, that's great. The other direction that he's been pulled into is his newly minted role as councilman, which is now politics. Politics and work for the greater good don't always work well together. In many cases, they pose a conflict of interest because in your pursuit to advance your political career and be a memorable figure or someone that is of reckoning, you're gonna have to do some shady things, build shady relationships, scratch a few backs, overlook certain things, look the other side on certain things, and yet you're trying to do something that is supposed to benefit the whole of humanity and be for the greater good of everyone. I feel like there's an opportunity there for conflict of interest to arise. That's just on the two directions that we've mentioned. The third direction is his relationship with his co-founder Victor and his commitment to Victor and the work that they do. Because before we put Victor in, he was already a very passionate man about his work. And him and Victor came together because they had a similar vision. But it's not quite the same as him on his own. He is now also him with Victor, and that also is a different direction on its own because Victor has his own thoughts, his own ideas, his own wishes to go his own direction, and he would want his co-founder to go those directions with him, to go that direction with him rather, to go the distance with him. And that also poses for me, I think, a conflict of interest in Jace Tallis, because up to how far is he willing to go for his own and for his friend's vision and for the work as a politician. So all these three directions that he's currently, I think, being pulled in pose a great opportunity for the story to put him in a compromised position, and I wonder if they're going to do that, because it would be great, because his three sides are warring for attention, and which side is he gonna pick? I don't know, mate. I don't know. It's so interesting and so interesting. Oh, I'm geeked. I'm so geeked. Still on Jace Tallis, just on a sort of like an aside, he appears to be a man who is quite pedantic and straight-laced, and he would have to be if he is working in a lab, and the work that he's doing in there requires precise calculations, precise measurements, and so on and so on. How is that same person with that kind of, you know, brain or wiring ought to work in politics, where you kind of have to overlook certain things, you know? For instance, he was trying to tighten security at the Hex Gates, and he was told, hey, whoa, don't step on toes. And so it's like you're asking him to kind of not be himself, and then in politics he has to be okay with bending the rules, cutting some corners, turning the other cheek, looking the other way when things that are not so above board happen in his presence or in his jurisdiction. Very interesting juxtaposition there for my man Jace Tallis. What I will note though is that despite him seeming so, you know, uptight and like by the book, I like how flexible he is. He's very adept at reading the situation and adapting to it in order to pursue his end goal. So he's not the kind of person that will like cut off his nose to spite his face. He'll keep it intact because the bigger picture is where he set his sights on. And also it shows that he's the kind of guy who picks his battles very wisely, at least so far, and I like that. I like the two sides of him that are both straight-laced and also flexible. Make for a very interesting character because the choices made are gonna be insane. They're gonna be a Maza. They're gonna be insane. Oh my word. Okay. Another fascinating thing to note is that these relationships and alliances seem to have a common thread, which is rather tenuous. And looking at the relationship between Silco and Marcus, I'm like very keen to observe how Silco is gonna keep Marcus in check, because Marcus that is, seems to be kind of on the fence now about his position as a two-timing cop, or as a two-faced cop, as a dirty cop in a word. And what lengths might Silco have to go in order to keep him on his side still, or at least keep him on his side for as useful as he is up until he doesn't need him anymore. That is something that I'm keen to see how will pan out. Another relationship that is tenuous in its nature is the one between Silco and Jinx. I think out of them all, that is the one that is rife with the most landmines for it just going absolutely nuclear, because he's literally just managing her through psychology. He's just in her head and exploiting her vulnerabilities and her trauma. That's what it is, really. And the risk that he takes in his enterprise, relying solely on her to make it or break it, is so immense. I don't know why he's doing that. I don't know why he thinks that's a wise move. I guess maybe the reward might be really good, that he's willing to take that risk. And then speaking of relationships again, Savita is unhappy with him for that, because she sees just how great of a gamble Jinx is. And so their relationship, Silco and Savika, is strained over Jinx. She's not happy. She's like, this girl is a wild card. She's like a cancer, get rid of her. And Silco's like, no, she's our ticket out of this. She's our ticket to greatness, and I'm sticking by her. And I'm just like, hectic. And then the relationship between Jace and Madada. Ma'am, just us girls. He left you in bed alone on your first night, and went to go see his homie in hospital. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say on that relationship. And then the one relationship that appears to be solid is the one between Victor and Jace. Though they might seem to be kind of in a rocky patch right now, in a rocky season right now, they are for the most part the most solid looking one because they've been together for so long. They still share a similar goal, the same vision, but maybe their approach is what is kind of causing friction between the two of them. But their relationships, at least for now, is quite solid. So all in all, this was a great episode. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video as well. And with that being said, I'm gonna wrap things up here. I can't wait to see you in my next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.